Imagine this. It's a crisp autumn afternoon. You're nestled into a velvet armchair, and the unmistakable piano theme of Downton Abbey starts to play. Goosebumps, right? Well, brace yourself, because the Crawleys are coming back. Again. Yes, Downton Abbey 3 is officially happening, and it's arriving in theaters on September 12th, 2025. Whether you're a lifelong fan or just starting to binge the series for the fourth time, this movie might be the biggest one yet. Filming wrapped in August 2024, and from what we're hearing, the production team is feeling confident about meeting the release date. So, unless something truly unexpected delays things, we're just over a year away from walking those iconic halls once more. Now let's talk cast, because honestly, it's a dream lineup. Returning fan favorites include Hugh Bonneville, Elizabeth McGovern, Michelle Dockery, Phyllis Logan, Jim Carter, and many more. Basically the whole upstairs-downstairs gang. We've also got Laura Carmichael back as Lady Edith, Brendan Coyle as Mr. Bates, Joanne Froggatt as Anna, Sophie McShera as Daisy. The list goes on. And joining the family this time are Paul Giamatti, Dominic West, Julian Coyle, Simon Russell Beale, and Artie Fruchon, adding some new flavor to the already rich cast dynamic. Michelle Dockery shared her excitement in a behind-the-scenes video from May 2024, calling the return a tad emotional and saying how wonderful it felt to be reunited with everyone again. And I think fans would agree. There's something comforting about seeing these characters grow older with us. But of course, with good news often comes bittersweet news. Dame Maggie Smith, who portrayed the legendary Dowager Countess, passed away in September 2024. She was the heart and wit of the series, and her presence will be missed deeply, not just in the film, but by fans around the world. It's unclear whether she filmed any final scenes before her passing, and the studio hasn't commented on it yet. But if she does appear in any way, it's sure to be one of the film's most emotional moments. Meanwhile, there's still some uncertainty around a few other characters. Matthew Goode, who plays Henry Talbot, Lady Mary's second husband, was absent from the second film due to scheduling conflicts. That left fans wondering, is Mary's marriage in trouble? The sequel hinted at some serious distance between them, and if Goode isn't back for the third movie, that story thread will need a resolution. Fellowes has two real options: right in a divorce, or something more permanent. Losing a second husband would be devastating for Mary, but in terms of narrative closure, it may be simpler than splitting them up off-screen. On the flip side, if Goode is able to return, we might finally get a satisfying arc about Mary and Henry rebuilding their marriage, rekindling their spark, and facing life's challenges together. And if not, well, maybe Charles Blake comes back. Remember him? He and Mary had some real chemistry, and fans still talk about the pig scene. Some even call them the pig rescuers. It would be oddly full circle to see that pairing explored again. Then there's Lady Edith, who, let's face it, has come a long way since the early seasons. But there's still one lingering secret: Marigold, her biological daughter, whose true parentage was never made public. What if that secret is finally threatened? A nosy journalist, a family enemy, or even a loose-lipped staff member could cause all kinds of chaos. Watching Edith try to protect Marigold and her dignity would give her a powerful, emotional arc. Maybe this time, instead of crying or complaining, we get to see Edith step into full power and face it head-on. One character we've never met but have heard about? Peter Coyle, the charming manipulator from Miss Baxter's past. He coerced her into theft years ago, and his presence still lingers in her story. What if he shows up now, trying to worm his way back into her life? That would create some real tension between him and Molesley, who's always had a quiet, earnest love for Baxter. Imagine the moment where Molesley confronts Coyle only to learn that Miss Baxter never even considered going back, because she sees her true future with Molesley. It would be tender, satisfying, and honestly, well-deserved. And speaking of characters who deserve more, let's talk about the Bateses. Mr. and Mrs. Bates were a huge part of the early show, but in the films, they've mostly stood on the sidelines. We've done the wrongful imprisonment arcs, the murder investigations, the courtrooms, What if they just got to dream a little this time? Back in season 2, Bates wanted to start a small hotel with Anna. That idea quietly disappeared, but it's never too late to bring it back. Maybe Bates is ready to leave Downton for good, but Anna hesitates, worried about leaving Lady Mary behind. That tension could lead to a powerful moment where Mary encourages her to follow her own dreams, proving just how far everyone has come. And finally, Thomas Barrow. His arc in A New Era ended beautifully, with him leaving Downton to begin a new life with Guy Dexter. It felt like a proper send-off, so bringing him back could be risky. But since actor Robert James Collier is confirmed to return, maybe he's just visiting. Maybe one of his old friends needs help, and Barrow gets pulled into one last clever scheme, before returning to the happy life he finally earned. Let's not mess with that ending. Let him thrive. So here we are. The cameras have stopped rolling, the plot is still under wraps, but the speculation? It's running wild. One last chapter. One final tea tray. And if Julian Fellowes can land this ending with grace, emotion, and maybe a little scandal, we're in for a proper farewell. What are you hoping to see in Downton Abbey 3? Which storylines do you want wrapped up, and which characters are you crossing your fingers for? Let's talk in the comments. And if you're as excited as I am for this final trip to Downton, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you don't miss a single update. Until next time, polish your silver, fluff those cushions, and get ready. Because drama is always just a bell ring away at Downton Abbey.